Hey, how's it going? It's Jesse here from Pebble. I'm going to walk you through on how to do your due diligence inside of Pebble. We typically, when we get a lead in, we're going to start looking at that property. We're going to look at road access. We're going to look at sort of neighboring properties as well. We're going to look at flood zones, wetlands. We're going to take a look at elevation and maybe confirm the size of things as well. I'm going to show you how you can do that all within Pebble. That means you do not need third-party platforms like our ReGrid or Land ID to only take screenshots and bring them into the platform. You can now do that all inside of Pebble. You can create as many maps as you need for every single property record. It's all accessible and up-to-date data right within the platform itself. All right. So first of all, let's head over into the property page. I'm looking at a property record right now. Now, at the time of viewing this, the UI might look a little bit different. The user interface might look a little bit different because actually during the time of recording this, we're actually doing a big revamp on the branding and redesign. So just want to give you a heads up. You should be able to come to the property record page and see the map here. All right. There should be a button here that allows you to open up the map here and allow you to view your property. So this is a property that I'm working on. Okay, so first thing I'm going to look at is, are there road access to my property? I'm going to zoom in here, and it does seem like there is visible road access into my property here. Okay. Road access is good to see if there is any because it allows you to do things like build on the property and so on and so forth. You will understand, what else you might need to do on that property. The next thing I might look at are neighboring parcels. All right, I'll probably look at neighboring buildings to see if they're building on there. Very likely if there's buildings on different parcels near yours that are similar to your parcels, that you can probably build on there. It's no guarantee, but again, we're doing our initial basic due diligence. All right, so here comes the fun part. We never had this before, but now we have access to this. And this is the nationwide flood zone and wetlands. Okay, so you can see the buttons here on the bottom that I'm clicking. You can see that we do see the flood zones and the wetlands. There's different sort of grades of wetlands as well. We're going to actually be updating this with a little key so you can see what those breakdowns are. But as of right now, when I'm recording it, we don't have that. All right, so you can view all your flood zones and wetlands now directly within Pebble. All right, huge. All right, finally, I want to check for elevation, right? And we have a 3D button here that allows us to go into 3D mode and just see our property, if it's on a slope or anything like that. You can see there is a slight dip down to the flood zone and the wetlands area. But other than that, it's a pretty flat property. This is super important because when we're looking at properties, we want to make sure our properties are actually flat. And when we're looking at from top down, it might just look flat, but it could be on the hillside, which you really can't do much with, right? So that might be a kind of property you want to avoid. All right, so once I've done that, I've looked at the elevation. By the way, if I turn off my satellite view, this is going to be a lot easier to see. You can see there are also contour lines as well. So that can also help you with elevation. Last thing I like to do is to use my measuring tool. If there's something I need to measure, like the road access, I can actually do this as well to see what that might approximate to look like. Soon enough, you're also going to be able to confirm with a measuring tool the size, the acreage of the property as well. We've heard of this many times, right? On the county records, it says it was 10 acres, but it was actually 1 acre. This happens a lot, so you don't want to end up in that situation. All right, so this is exactly on how you can conduct your due diligence right here inside of Pebble. Take your screenshot, save it, and it'll be accessible for you at any time. The maps are embedded with the actual property record. And again, you can create as many of these as you need within Pebble. Anyways, I hope you found that helpful to create maps and doing your due diligence right inside of Pebble now.